Hey everybody. In my previous video I talked about habits, specifically how I think the type 9 kind of INFP is very much a creature of trying to maintain routine, maintain habit, uh, has a difficult time with change. So I thought that I would make a video to speak to a topic that's somewhat similar. So in this video, I want to talk about how it is we change on a physical level. So we understand that when we are living our lives, our brains or our brain is pruning off different neurons. We're creating neural connections. There's actually a saying, I think, in neuroscience that says where I'm trying to remember. I think it's where attention goes, neural circuits grow or something to that effect. I'd have to look it up, but either way, the idea is that we do sculpt the nature of our brains by the way that we pay attention to our lives, and that when attention actually is working in conjunction with experience, we actually grow new neural connections, and we have those connections grow even stronger. And then before we know it, we're running on automatic with those neural connections. And you can think about how in life there are things that, well, there are things that we might like, things that we might dislike about ourselves, honestly, or maybe about just the way that we're looking at the world. And in some sense, I think what we have to do is we have to direct our attention in ways that we do find worthy of who we'd like to be or what we think is important. Loving thoughts, for example. So, yeah, what I was attempting to kind of talk about in this video was how our brains are plastic, and that we can, in fact, change on a very physical, real, neurological level, or at least that's what the research is showing. And there are things that we can do to actually accelerate the growth of new neural connections, namely aerobic exercise, as well as novel experiences and emotionally salient experiences. So when we think about change, I think we really have to understand that change happens when we truly, truly pay attention to the little stuff in our lives, the small stuff in our lives. And I think it's crazy because I always start with like the big stuff, and there's really no real way to change your own life or lifestyle if you don't focus on the details. Um, and that can be difficult for someone who's not very detail oriented. But I think we can really, really find a lot of meaning in the fact that we are the types of beings that do change with our experiences. And that in some sense we do have a say over how it is we experience the world, our relationships, our, our reality in some respect. We have a choice. And when we start to make the kind of decisions to attend to those types of choices that we deem good or maybe important, I think the conscience in some sense speaks to us and befriends us, and there's a greater sense of congruence. And I think when we are able to be honest and congruent, and then we take a step into maybe a relationship or take a step into any kind of intimacy in our lives, there is so much energy and there's so much life, and it's always available, I think, to us. Here I am going on a rant, but yeah, the truth is that you can change, we can change for the better. It's a slow process, but if we focus, if we pay attention to the small things, then all of a sudden we can have positive aspects of our lives running on automatic, right? Automatic positive thoughts, automatic unconditional positive regard, automatic love for God, for neighbor, for choosing the nutrient-dense food at the grocery store, for listening to the person who is talking to you, giving them, your full attention. These are the types of things that we have the ability to create and sustain for a better life. So why not do it? If you could relate, let me know with a comment, like the video, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I'd love to hang out with you a little longer. I'm thinking about maybe doing a live stream tomorrow, so look for that.